Welcome to Freeform Radio on the Freeform Network. You can follow us on Twitter or X now at FFR Podcast. Remember to send your questions and suggestions to ffnquestions@gmail.com. Hit us up there. We love them. We respond to everything. Again, it's Freeform Radio. We got Danny.
Yes, sir, man. I made it, man. Just got out of church, but made it in time.
Awesome. And then we got It's All Good Andy. I'm back. By 95% healthy. And Noel, he might join us later, but he has his own issues. But we're all here. Well, when I mean all here, it's me and Danny. But let's get into it, Danny. What's going on? What's this JFK thing you're talking about?
Yeah, I'm not sure if you saw the trailer. I think it came out about a month ago or maybe two. National Geographic came out with a new documentary called JFK One Day in America. And
awesome.
It kind of goes into a little bit different. Most JFK documentaries go into a lot of the assassination. Was it feasible? Was there did he have the ability to fire off 3 shots? And that's usually the kind of angle most documentaries go into. This one was mostly about everything else. They kind of just even skim over the assassination shot. They didn't speak about the magic bullet, none of that stuff. So it was more about leading up to the day, the America, what state it was in at the time, with Russia and with Cuba, talking about talking about the political atmosphere, even speaking more to Jackie, the first lady, and some of the stuff that she was dealing with, with possible scandals with John F. Kennedy and infidelity, and it kind of goes into some other aspects. So it really kind of gives like a pre assassination and a post assassination, and kind of gives you how America changed after that. So it was really different. I kind of like more the technical portion of it. About usually documentaries like this, I like more of the technical stuff about the trajectory of the bullet, and I like all that analysis. So this was different, but it still held my interest. It was still good. It was very cool seeing a lot of the doctors, because they had a lot of the original people that were there, like present day today. So, man, these people are old, and I don't know how much longer they're here with this earth, man. So it's good. It's good that they're documenting it and getting their testimony on tape, and kind of getting their feelings present day today.
Yeah, I forgot the last anniversary. When was it? It had to be like, because when did it happen? In 63, 64? So it had to be like around, I forgot what anniversary, but they did a lot of specials. I think, regarding the assassination, the conspiracies. Like we talked about the climate of America, especially with how we dealt with communism. And I saw, the only one that intrigued me when that came out is they did a documentary on how the news handled this at the time, like the 3 major networks and like local television. And that was pretty intriguing, with all the information that was coming out at the same time, with like Walter Cronkite and so forth. But yeah, I mean, everybody has an opinion on JFK, and I think, to me, that documentary brought some new insight from the media's point of view, which was kind of interesting. But I mean, coming down to it, I think the best documentary series I've seen on it is The Men Who Killed Kennedy. It's like a 11-part series, and it was recommended by somebody that I used to work with, because he had his own insight. And what some of it brought up, he talked about, is brought up in one of the series, which made a lot of sense to me. And but there's so much stuff with JFK. Even now, even under Trump, they were going to release all these documents, and it really didn't have much. The only thing
Right.
that came from those documents was like they have a picture of Hitler like somewhere in South America, right? Like that was like out of that whole JFK dump. I remember like was in South America in the 50s or something. And everybody's like, what? That's what came out of the JFK dump. That's the only thing that I remember about it.
Right. Yeah. For some reason, stuff like this kind of fascinates me. I do try to tune into different documentaries, and I never heard about this one that you're talking about, the men who killed Kennedy. You said.
Yeah, it was on. He told me that it was on VHS, but when they had that last anniversary, it had to be the 40th or the 50th. They History Channel released them, so I taped them. And they made two new parts because that thing was made like in the early '80s. Some of it gets a little weird, but there's a couple parts where it was like, damn, like they make a lot of sense to the grassy knoll and the bums or something they arrested afterwards. I forgot their names. Some of them thought it was Hunt. That's where I heard the first name Hunt. He was just like this super spy, and that he was involved and killed in the conspiracy, um, along with the Cubans and all this other stuff. So yeah, but the men who killed Kennedy, I think they released the set on DVD when DVD starts first coming out. But the two new parts, I think, which is like part 8 and 9 or something like that, it was never got an official release. They just made them for the History Channel. But I do have copies of that on a DVD-R because the one that makes sense is to me was there was a towards the end, like during around that time, that was this big thing that the vice president was involved in killing Kennedy Johnson, and I'm kind of leaning towards that theory.
Yeah, no, it's always fascinating to see all these different aspects. To me, I honestly still think that with such a drastic change in the country with the assassination of a president, you got to think like these big players are involved, and it's not some lone gunman that did it. Like just some rando guy can change the world like that. So to me, I've always felt like yes, it has to be a bigger conspiracy if you want to put it like that, but it's a bigger organization that uh, did this and implemented this and
Well, yeah,
assassinated the president.
I mean it's stuff that is still talked about today. It has different names, right? The swamp, the deep state. Back then they had different names and stuff like that, but it's still stuff that's talked about today more openly. Back in the day when you would talk like that, they look at you like you were nuts. But now I mean, say what you will. I mean, there is, I mean, a lot of people believe it, and not just me. That there's bigger things that control the government. Especially some of the stuff us Gen Xers and millennials went through. 9/11. Um, the from 2000 on, like we had that big recession with the dot-com bust, and then we had 9/11, and then we had the housing bust, and then we had multiple wars like with Iraq and Afghanistan, and like even now there are people predicting, like with this hype, with this inflation that we're having now. And a lot of generations didn't do that. I mean, the last kind of the one kind of that was the greatest generation. I mean, everybody else was kind of like, I mean, there was wars, but us and people, the kids that came after, they seen some pretty, I mean, messed up shit, or
Right.
they lived through a lot of messed up stuff.
For
And
sure, man. I think all this stuff is really fascinating and really a good watch. I'm gonna have to see if I could find the men who killed Kennedy and tune into that because
it might be
I'm always looking for new documentaries to
it
watch.
might be on YouTube, the some of it, but yeah, I mean, I got it buried somewhere in DVDs that my wife wants me to get rid of. She finally gave in. She's always yelling at me I'm a fucking DVDs, but this very reason, like we've talked about streaming, like People it was controversial. I mean, that's some you're not gonna. I mean, I'll be shocked if it's like on Hulu or like Netflix or something, but you never know. But I'm pretty sure it's like on like pretty shitty clips, like on YouTube or something.
So to get you on record, Andy, you're saying don't throw things away and you should keep things, no
You
matter
should
if,
keep media, yeah, yeah. The people are turning on media, like people, like
but
everything, the streaming. But now people, the tables have turned where people are like, we should keep all this because the streaming companies pull all that stuff.
but everything else we could throw away.
Yeah, you could throw away like the Jesse Ventura conspiracy theory show. You can't find that nowhere, nowhere on YouTube or anything. I got a DVD set. I bought a bootleg DVD set of that thing. And there's the episode we talked in private about the jabs and stuff that they talked about it like 10 years ago. And it kind of like happened then. It's just like, but you'll never find that show. I'll be shocked if it's put on reruns anywhere, but I don't think it ever will because it had a lot of controversial people on that show. It got kind of goofy at the end with him like clenching his face. It got a little dramatic, like to try to sensationalize it, but yeah, they make some great points on there.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. But jumping onto something else, man, I kind of jumped into a little bit of a rabbit hole like you, Andy. I usually don't go on YouTube too much, but these last month or so, I've really been hooked on it, and I've been hooked on cop videos and seeing people get arrested and just seeing the chicanery that people get into, man. The stuff that I don't understand, man. I got pulled over, and I mentioned it on the podcast. I got pulled over maybe it was like 4 months ago or so for speeding, and everything went the way you would expect a normal transaction or a normal thing to go if you're getting pulled over. But when you see some of these videos and people kind of acting a fool, I don't understand it, man. I really don't understand what is going on with people and why they have to act a certain way and kind of get crazy. So I've been fascinated with a lot of these YouTube videos and watching them and just watching people fly off the handle, cops having to drag people out of their cars, have to recite stuff back to them and be like, no, sir, that's not the law. This is the way it is, and it's just kind of nuts. I know that you get into it a lot yourself.
Man, I got into it for a while, but like it gets to a point where like you said, the daily interaction is like kind of like what you say, but then like the stuff because everything's being recorded now, like it's more out in the open, and you don't. And like, yeah, you see like some bullshit go down, and you're like, oh man, the cop messed up, or this guy messed up. Um, but yeah, I mean, it gets to a point where you're like, man, can it be this fucked up out there, right? Like, I haven't been pulled over in a long time, but I can't imagine like I'm gonna start getting. I was seeing one today. Somehow ended up in my feed where a cop was choking out a guy. I just saw the clip. The cop's choking him out, and the other cop's punching him. And I'm
Nice.
like, what the hell happened right here? Well, someone broken down. Like, you're not getting the full context of the video here. Like, he put a link in, like, the guy had a gun and he kept reaching for it, and that's why he tried to he subdued him, and the
Right.
other cop was trying to grab his hand and he kept putting it down, and like, well, not like now you know why the cop was acting the way he was, but yeah, I mean it's like you just see that clip where he's just choking him up and the other guy's like punching him, like trying to grab his arms, and you're like, what the fuck's going on? Like, oh, why the cops harassing this guy, right? But you don't get the full context of the video until because everything's so edited. Like you always say, like, well, I don't know, I gotta watch the full unedited
Right.
video because people like pull it out of context or they edit it or they make it look like more worse than it is and shit.
Yeah, for sure. So what I like about these is that most of them are body cams.
Mm-hmm.
So for the most part, it doesn't look like they're edited. It's kind of just a video from start to end of the whole transaction. So it's kind of good to see it from that aspect, like you said, so you can get the full context, the cop walking up and seeing the whole thing transpire. Now, do they cut? It doesn't kind of look like it, or at least most videos don't. I got stuck on some that are called the web page is like Code Blue or something like that, or Body Cam Blues, or I forget what it's called. So yeah, some really interesting ones, man, for sure.
Yeah, like I said, there's a lot of well, a lot of the drivers are recording now too because they feel like they're being harassed, and some of them,
Yeah, yeah,
it's true. I mean, like you see, and they show, and the cop is trying to be. His job is always when they can't prove something, is try to make you admit something because it's easier
right,
for them, and that's I think people that's where they get hung up on, and like you see they ask them these questions and they're like, well, I'm not answering that and this and that, and the cops get kind of flustered because they kind of know. I'm not saying maybe the guy didn't do or did something, but you know, and the cops get frustrated. I saw one where a video got copped. He was adamant. He pulled this guy over, and he was like taking or he was moving drugs, and he wanted to search the car, and the guy wouldn't let him. And he's like, "I'll show you my trunk." He's like, "Let me go through it." Like, I'll open up the trunk and you can see it. And he goes, "Okay," but then he couldn't see anything. And then he goes back to his squad car and he's calling another cop. Man, I feel it. This guy, he has drugs. I feel it. Like, but I don't know.
right.
I don't know what to do. And like, do you know any other tips? And they couldn't come up with anything. And then he had to let him go. And I'm just thinking, like, damn, like he made up his mind. Like this guy, maybe he's right, or maybe he's not. But I don't know. But like, he couldn't prove it.
Yeah, I'm sure that happens a lot with gut feelings, and it just kind of continues to push you to kind of pursue finding something. And yeah, I'm sure some of those do come up with, finding other things. I was actually just watching one last night. It's called Fridays with Frank, I think is the name of it. And it's this cop from like New Mexico or Arizona, somewhere around there. And all he does is pull over people for traffic infractions. Because some of the other ones that I watch is like just cops doing other stuff in general, domestic stuff or whatever. But this one is just pulling over people that speed and do things traffic wise, changing lanes. And it does not fail, man. This guy will pull over people, and it's crazy, man. It's like people just come up with the dumbest excuses, and no, they start filming him, and he's just like, "Don't worry, I'm filming you. I'm just here to show you what you did," and blah blah blah, man. And it really starts going down. It becomes comical, some of the stuff some of these people do to get out a ticket, and where I think if people are honest for the most part, it'd probably go a lot better for them. But Andy, it looks like we got Noel here. He finally tuned in. Noel, good to
Yes,
hear from you,
sir.
man. Yes, sir. Why
Happy to
don't we?
be here.
Sure, show. Why don't we jump into your week, man? I see you were watching Warehouse 13. Sounds familiar. What is that?
So this is a sci-fi show that it actually ran for 5 seasons, but it finished up. I want to say it's getting close to like 10 years now. It is an older show, mid 2000s. I would say like 2012 ish era. Um, it's just a cool, fun sci-fi show, kind of like a lighter-hearted X-Files. And it deals with like artifacts or items that are kind of supernatural in nature. And it deals with historical like artifacts and historical items throughout, human civilization that have a story of like a reputation for an item, kind of like the Hope Diamond. There's like supposedly cursed, and anyone who wears it dies. Or that one chair that's like a thing, Napoleon's chair. Anybody wears or sits in it dies. Stuff like that. And it's a warehouse full of items like this, and sometimes they go hunt down missing items or items that they just don't have in their collection yet, and it's secret service agents that were assigned to do this. And it's pretty interesting. It's, like I said, it's lighthearted, so it's an easy to watch show that's funny yet kind of just cool, and different stories that they make it entertaining and dramatic. And It's just a cool, fun sci-fi show. I'd recommend to people. I'd probably give it like a 7 out of 10.
Man, this kind of sounds like Friday the 13th TV show where there's like an article or some kind of artifact in the warehouse, and then it transitions to like a story about it.
That's exactly it, man. That's another reason why I took to the show. But they kind of do it in a funny way, and they have a lot of cool characters that are recurring. It's like a group of like 5 people, and they all have like their unique personality. So you get a chance to like vibe with each individual character, and you get more invested as you go along. I bought the Blu-ray collection of it, the 5 seasons. I'm on season, I think it's 3 or 4. I think I just wrapped up 3. Yeah. So I'm moving on to season 4. Um, and yeah, I do recommend it for people that like, sci-fi shows that like interesting episodic series with stories that there still is kind of a continuity, and there's some supernatural stuff. So if you're interested in stuff like that, it's definitely up your alley. It's like a mixture of Friday the 13th, the show, mixture of supernatural, and a mixture of like X-Files all in one.
Oh, nice, man. Yeah, man. I always think shows like that are kind of, sci-fi and kind of, kind of quirky, but it all depends, man. X-Files, I was able to get into and I really enjoyed, but no matter how many times I tried watching Twin Peaks, like the first 2 or 3 episodes, and I just can't get any farther, man. I'm just like,
That show is
even
weird, dude.
even though it's like a cult following and people love it or say it gets better and it's got a really weird story, I just can't do it. I don't know why, man.
Yeah, I have that one as well, and I know exactly what you're talking about. It feels dated too, like it's a '90s show. It's even though X Files was in the '90s, it doesn't feel as dated for whatever reason. Like I could watch X Files, and it would still, hold up with like today's, style of programming. But
Yeah, with
yeah,
Twin Peaks, they brought it back a couple of times and it didn't last. I mean,
yeah.
but it has like a hardcore like group that like loves that show. Like, and when Danny, I tried watching it, it's just too fucking weird for me. Yeah, but I know they brought it back a couple of times. I think they brought it back. I think like Showtime brought it back or something like in the last 10 years, and I think that was I think they're done with trying to bring it back, reboot it, or whatever the hell they're doing to it.
Yeah, there's only so much you can do with a show like that, where it's unless you make a new story, right? But I'm sure it's the same story being told just in a different way, and yeah,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
hard to
it was.
recapture that.
Yeah, Warehouse 13. I saw it when I was on SyFy. But I only watched like the first couple seasons. That was when they
Okay.
had used to make a ton of shows, and I thought, yeah, that one was pretty good.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
it's been a while since I've seen it.
It's lighthearted, dude. It's
Yeah,
family friendly. It's there's no like real like vulgar stuff or any over the top gore or anything. It's really family friendly and tame. But it's just a cool, fun show. You have a long day at work. You want to just sit and unwind for an hour or two. Just put on a couple episodes of this and get you caught up. And yeah, another thing I've been up to is I've been getting back to working out. So those who listen to our last episode would know that the illness has been going around, the viruses, full effect over here at this winter season kicking in. And so I wasn't able to really work out as much as I wanted to. And now I'm finally getting my strength back. I'm finally lifting again, and it's been nice, man. I missed it. I know a lot of people, well, not a lot of people, but there are people out there that don't like to exercise. They don't enjoy it. They feel like it's a chore and it's just something they have to do. Whereas I actually look forward to it. I work out. Typically, I like to work out 4 days a week, and I look forward to each and every workout session. And I'm already, I'm already habitualized to it. So, yeah, I've been finally getting my strength back and able to do that again.
Yeah, I know this bout of COVID from a few people that I've spoken to. It seems to be like a fatigue thing where you're like really tired and you really feel out of it, like you don't really want to do anything except lay there on the couch.
did you get
Um,
hard, Danny? That's one of the symptoms.
well, I didn't get COVID, but yes,
Oh, my bad, man.
I have heard of that being a symptom as well for certain people. Yeah.
That blood just focuses into that one area, huh?
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
No, I completely relate with the fatigue part, man. That first week, I want to say, what was really rough, and the second week is when I finally started working out a little bit. But I just went light, and I still felt tired, still felt like the lingering symptoms. Even right now, like you could probably hear it in my voice, it's still, it's coming back, but it's just lingering. Those things linger for a couple weeks, unfortunately, and yeah, I'm working it out. And anyway, yeah, my strength is
Yeah,
finally returning.
when I got sick from I couldn't record in the last recording. I couldn't. I had a fever, and I did the coof test, and it came negative, the home one. But the Sunday, Saturday night, Sunday, like I could not stop fucking coughing. Like it was worse than it when and I had COVID on the in 2021. I had a fever, but I didn't have the cough, and like I didn't even have congestion. Like that was the weird part. It was just like this dry cough that I could not stop coughing. And when I went to the doctor, they gave me some stuff, and I got a little better. But yeah, I mean, I broke the fever in a couple of days, but the cough was like the worst. It was like bad.
And that sounds like COVID. It's weird.
Yeah, I took a COVID test at the doctor's. It came negative. I took a test here before I went, came back negative.
Maybe
Um,
it was just a flu then.
it was no, they did a flu test. I tested positive for influenza A. They had
Ah,
a test for A and B. I didn't even know this, but that's the one it came back for. And then they gave me some medicine for the cough, and like a couple of days later, I got the cough slowly went away.
Yeah, I'm
But
I'm kind of scared with it being the time of this recording a little bit before Christmas. I haven't gotten sick, knock on wood, but now we're so close. Am I going to be able to make it to Christmas so I can see my family before I get sick? Because everybody else has gotten sick, so you would presume they're going to be healthy for the Christmas event. And me having not gotten sick, am I more susceptible to getting sick?
yeah, like I said, everybody around here, like my wife got sick, my kid got sick, my in-laws got sick, my mom got sick, my sister got sick. It's like everybody was fucking sick like 2, 3 weeks ago. It was like, and I didn't catch any of it till the end, that last weekend, and then yeah, it was like fucking brutal. I mean, I was sweating up a storm and everything, but yeah, I mean, but yeah, everybody something, and then people at work. I know a couple guys that were really fucking sick, and they were going kind of the same symptoms that I had. But yeah, I mean, it's going around.
Yeah, for sure, man. So hopefully I stay away from it. I'll keep taking my vitamins and hopefully stay completely healthy so I don't have to deal with it. And
I wouldn't
that,
consider you completely healthy then, but
well,
you can try.
well, as healthy as I can be, I guess I should say. Yeah.
You gotta use the hand sanitizer, man.
Yeah.
So, dude, when you go out, are you masking up then, or no? Not yet.
No, 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 I'm not. I know COVID's kind of ramping up a little bit,
Uh,
but I think it's kind of like the flu. It's going to be a part of our life now. It's going to be like the common cold. It's going to be a part of our life. And I think as long as you live somewhat of a healthy life, eat well, sleep, all that good stuff, we should be able to combat it. And it would be something where like it'll knock you on your ass for a few days, and then you jump back up and you're back to normal.
yeah, I would say right now, man, just watch your diet. Try not to go, hard on the fried foods and things that cause inflammation, because that could lower your immune system and, just make it easier to be, susceptible to the illness. I would also say, make sure you get your vitamin C, vitamin D, zinc, all that stuff, and wash your hands a lot. I think what got me sick, because I work in an office, so there were people that were sick, a week or two before me, and I think just over time. it just spread, and it eventually came to me. And because we all use the same microwave, the same refrigerator, the same air fryer, all the utensils and shit like that, like I
Hey,
just
you
feel
guys got
like
an air fryer over there, man? Shit.
hell yeah, man, we got that shit just recently too. It's
Dang.
pretty nice. I make my tortillas on there, kind of calentarlos and shit, so it's pretty good.
You're like, I'm making tostadas, guys.
Yo,
And the
every
air fryer.
time people see me like my lunch and shit, they're always envious. They're like, "Damn, you got the best lunches," and I'm like, "You fucking got that right," you know. But yeah, shifting to the next thing. Speaking of Christmas coming up, it's actually going to be, well, by the time that this drops, it'll already be past Christmas. But yeah, I've already been doing my Christmas shopping for my niece and nephews, and thankfully, I found just about something for everyone. Two of my nephews are a little harder to shop for just because they're like a little not like picky, but they like most of the stuff that I bought them in the past, like video games and stuff, they just don't get around to playing. So I ended up finding something that would work for one of my nephews who's getting into exercising and taking protein and stuff. So I got him some stuff related to that, and my niece, I got her some stuff that's like princess oriented. She's really into that, and then another nephew's really into like music and stuff. So I got him some stuff for the music. But yeah, how about you guys? You guys been doing your shopping yet?
Yeah, I kind of fall into the same thing with you, man. It's tough to shop when people are a little pickier. And I don't like to give out gift cards if I can help it, because I think it's kind of a cheap gift, or not a cheap gift, but an easy cop out to not put any effort. But I
Hmm.
totally understand it too if it's difficult and you can't really gauge what the person's going to need, then giving them cash or a gift card is usually the way to go.
That's the mindset I
Hmm.
used to have too. Like, I would worry, but at this point, like, uh, just give them cash is king or a gift card. But I got most of my shopping pretty. I got it done early. I just got to buy something for my wife. Everybody else, we pretty much give them cash. And then my niece was here yesterday, and we haven't seen her in a while because everybody's been sick. And she was hanging out, and I'm like, "What do you want Santa Claus to bring in?" And she's like, "I want a lot of things." And I'm like, "Well, what's a lot of things?" And then she laid out a couple things, and at the end, she's like, "I want a phone." I'm like, "This girl's like 4 years old, man." I'm like, "Jesus Christ!" And I'm like, "Well, you ain't. I don't think Santa's gonna bring you a phone." but we got some ideas. And I'm like, I like everything. They want toys. But yeah, it's kind of the older kids. I'm just like, we just give them cash, and be done with it. Like the teenagers, and then my mom, everybody, I give them cash pretty much.
Yeah, man, I get where you're coming from, Daniel. Like it is kind of a cop out with the gift cards and stuff, but it is like you said, Andy. It's difficult sometimes, and it's just the easier way to go about it, where they're
It's
gonna.
less, it's stress free, dude. Because I used to stress
Yeah,
out about all this shit, and I get to a point where like I'm gonna just give them money and let them buy whatever the hell they want because
yeah,
yeah, and you want them like to use it or not, and then sometimes you don't, and you're like, man, like this kind of sucks, and I'm like, that with cash, you can buy whatever the hell they want with it, or put it in the bank, and like,
exactly.
and like they decide what they want to do with it, and you just put a nice little card, and then you just hand it out.
I mean, especially in this economy, it's like we don't got money to waste and throw away, So I don't want to get something that they're just gonna put in a closet and never use. It's like
Right.
that would be literally a waste of my money and my time to go out and get it. So I'm just like, if I get them a card, at least they're gonna buy whatever they need at the time that they need it, and they're gonna like whatever they get. So
So,
yeah,
so I think
but
Danny's saying he does not want that gift card to Hooters.
Oh, I definitely love a good cash present so I can buy my own stuff. But I appreciate if somebody puts effort into trying to figure out what I need, and then especially if they're right on and it hits. Those are really extra special gifts for sure.
Well, what about you, Andy? You want to get gifted that WWE Network subscription, or what does it say
I
here? You're
need
no
to,
longer
man.
a wrestling
Yeah,
expert.
man. Danny was yelling at me. We were talking wrestling, and He's like, I think because I'm not watching the current WWE product or AEW, that from that he goes, you're gonna lose FFR's resident wrestling expert title. Like we're gonna have to outsource this job and like to bring him in every time we talk about wrestling because I'm not really watching it. And like, damn, Danny, it kind of hurts. He's like, hey man, I'm the executive vice president here, man. That's what the reality of the situation is in the network.
Yeah,
So
for sure, man. It's weird because even I mean, I dropped off a long time ago, and yeah, I forgot what I was watching. I think it was Survivor Series or this last one, the War Games. And then I
yes,
was asking you questions about it, and you're like, "Yeah, I didn't even watch any of it. I didn't even really know much about it."
yeah. Well, I mean, like right now, I mean, we kind of tell you, like they're kind of lacking like star power, right? And like Roman Reigns is okay. I mean, I'm not a big fan of him. And like CM Punk, his return, I wasn't when he left. I don't like. I was talking all this shit about the fans and wrestling and stuff, and like everybody came back with open arms. I get it. He moves the needle and he's this guy and all that shit. But and Cody Rhodes, I mean, he was okay. And then like I
What
don't
about
know, like the
AJ
only one.
Styles?
I mean, AJ, I saw he just came back. They had a pay per view or something, and he's all like jacked up now. And like, but I'm like, I didn't even know he was out or anything. I just saw like, oh, he's back with like Randy Orton, like on because I saw it on X, and but I'm just like, I don't know, like I'm not watching this stuff, and like I have Hulu, and they put the 2 hour recap on Hulu, and I used to watch that when we got rid of cable, but then I was like, even that one, and then Raw's 3 hours and like they cut it down to two on that and the Hulu version, and I'm like, it was still sometimes I was like, this is kind of rough. And then like AEW, I never really watched, and when I do watch wrestling, I'm watching like older stuff, and like I said, it's and like Danny was just like, yeah, man, you're not the fucking expert no more, and I'm like, man, I think you're right. And then I was like, I gave out some names who we could have come in, but Danny didn't like them either because they try to use Hulk Hogan's name to make money or something. He was telling me.
Yeah, I think they even got sued by Hulk Hogan.
But and I was thinking like, yeah, and the one person we're like Facebook friends with him, he was talking about like, CM Punk's like the best ever and AEW sucks and Raw's gonna go to like TBS and all this and I'm just like, Jesus Christ. And Danny's like, why is he dick riding CM Punk? I'm like, I don't know. I didn't even know he was like that much big of a fan, And like, and to me, like, I like CM Punk was a shit, but then when he left, he was talking so much shit about the fans and wrestling. He kind of like pissed me off. And then now he slowly came back, and then he fucked up everything. Not fucked up, but how it went down at AEW allegedly, how he left, and then how he left his first time with WWE, like all the nonsense that was going on then, and like to bring him back, and then like I guess they're making money with him. But I was, when he came back, I was telling Danny, watch like Triple H come out of retirement to beat him again, and then retire again, like he did last time, and then so yeah, I mean, and like his one comment when he came back, he's like, I'm not here to make friends. I'm here to make money. And I'm just like, which is, valid, but that just shows you like, when he used to say like, I bled for this business and, wrestling and all this. And now he's just like, I'm here to get paid. Like, that's all I'm doing. And then like, well, then why'd you get pissed off at AEW, how that went down if you were getting paid there too? Probably more, I'm thinking, you
Yeah,
know?
I wonder where he earned more money for sure.
Well, when he came back, I know his number was up there and I heard, AEW paid him, and he was making. They were gonna build a whole show around him, like the second show or whatever, and then he kept getting injured, and then whatever went down, like, and then he started fighting with everybody, and like he was threatening people, and allegedly, and it is what it is, and now he's in WWE. Now, of course, he's not gonna pull none of that crap there because they'll get rid of him, and Vince McMahon ain't in charge no more. It's mostly run like the day to day by Triple H, and
Yeah, I
he
think
has to
it
answer corporate people.
I think it's even in his contract that if there's any kind of like social issues or any kind of like any kind of disturbance between him and the crew, that they have the ability to fire him and not pay his contract.
Well, yeah, I mean, like yeah, like I said, and he's just one guy, and he's an old guy now. And then even Hogan made a comment recently about the state of the stars, the superstars. There's the lack of them. He goes, a lot of these guys look like they should be bagging my groceries, and like, I mean, like Roman Reigns is the exception. Cena's old. Randy Orton's old. Cody, he's okay. I feel like the internet people love him. He's okay. But he's not like bigger than life, like in the old days.
Right.
And I mean, I don't know. It just, like I said, I'm not watching the product. I'm, like I stated before. I might watch. I'll probably watch WrestleMania. I've always watched WrestleMania, but sometimes the last one I watched, I was like, who the fuck are these people? I was just like, a lot of it. I was just like, yeah, like I don't know. I think the last one they were gonna bring The Rock, but then they couldn't work out a deal. And even Rock's getting up there, and I don't know why he's still wrestling when he's doing all these movies. It makes no sense to me unless they're really paying him really good money.
Could have something to do with that XFL or whatever, you think?
Well, they just merged with the USFL. It's no longer two teams. They're making it into one league.
Uh-huh.
And so yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like I said, it's wrestling. I even try to watch some of the like Impact. That's even, I don't know, half the people in there. And then the NWA Power. I was watching some of that this morning because Danny challenged me, and the main event was like these clowns versus
Like Joint the
destruction.
Clown?
Dude, I don't know. The manager was one of the Juggalos, and then the other team was like the guys from Mad Max. And when they're walking out to their room, they're spraying like that stuff in their mouth, like they did in the movie, the Mad Max, the new one.
All right.
And I'm just like, what the fuck am I watching? And then and they're fighting for the US the US tag team championship, not the world tag team, the US. And I'm like, yeah, this fucking sucks. And I couldn't watch it no more. And I'm just like, man, wrestling's kind of bad right now. That's all I kept thinking in my head. Like, I'm not gonna waste 15 minutes on this match. And I was thinking, like, maybe I should ask my Facebook friend what he thinks about this company.
Yeah, man, it's rough, man. I used to be into wrestling when I was like between like 9 to like 16 ish. So it's a good solid like 8 years, 7 years where I was really into it. But it's fallen off, man. Since like the mid 2000s, I would say it fell off. Ever since like 2007 or 8, I stopped watching it. And like you, I look at these new guys, I'm like, man, like it just doesn't feel the same. They don't have that edge. They don't have that like threatening, intimidating demeanor. They all seem like they're like Instagram models and shit. Like it's
Yeah,
just I don't know, man. It's
the
different.
what the problem is like, I sound like an old man. Like the realism is gone. Like you really, like you watch like this 6'2" guy, like 280 jacked up versus like someone that is like 5'8" to like 180, like really like lean and kind of jacked. Like you really think that guy's gonna be? There's a lot of shit that has to go for him to beat him, and like that realism is lost now. And like everybody knows it's a work, brother, and like so everybody's just like, I think they're more interested to see what's going to happen in the politics in the background and how they get to that storyline. And that's like a big problem right now. And that's a problem in like with AEW. Like some of the matches I watch, I'm just like, none of this shit makes sense. And then like same thing with WWE. Except with like the Roman Reigns stuff, I think they take that a little bit more serious. to me, like Drew McIntyre, that guy is like, he has the look, he has the gimmick, and like they don't do nothing with him, and like it's just like I don't know why they don't push him, and like he could talk, but it is what it is.
I think Hogan's got one more good run in him. He could come back and save all this, man.
Bro, but that's Sting. So Sting is gonna retire officially, like in this pay-per-view early next year, and they brought back Ric Flair to help him, like, and people started shitting on Flair, like Flair's like what 70? I don't know how Hogan's maybe in the 60s. Flair's 70, right? Um, like yeah, like maybe if it was like even my old ass is like, ooh, they're bringing out Flair, and he's talking about like maybe he'll do a couple moves here and there, and I'm just like, oh, that's the last thing you want that old man to do.
He is 74, born 1949, going to be
Flair?
75 in February. Yep.
And then Hogan's what, like 68 or something?
Can't recall. Let's see.
I know Danny don't want to hear the truth, man. Hogan always
70, dude.
Damn, man.
He's born in 53.
Wikipedia's wrong in that one, bro. So when he was with Metallica, he was like in his 20s and shit, man. It was like fucking 50 years ago. But
time flies, man.
Yeah, like I said, man, it's wrestling is Paulie Walnuts. Every friendship has its peak and valleys. Right now, it's in the valleys with wrestling with me, but I'll still keep my eye on it. And we'll see what happens. It got to get better, so we'll see what happens. Real quick, the other thing you guys see, I don't talk a lot about movies, here, but this is the first movie where I'm like, I want to go see it in the theater. I want to check it out. It's that political war movie, Civil War. Did you guys see that trailer?
No, I haven't heard about this one.
Oh, you should watch it, man. It talks about the U.S. is in a civil war, and you hear like the president talking, and there's certain states secede from the U.S. They call it like the Western Alliance, and there's like the Florida Alliance, and then what's left over is the U.S. government, and then they're talking about the president's like on his third term, and they're talking about like this reporter's trying to investigating, and you hear like in the background the president ordering airstrikes on Americans, and then you see these soldiers, like it's like little things. There's like you see a close up of a sniper, and then when you see the sniper, his fingernails are painted in all like glitter colors. And then the other one is these soldiers there's these soldiers that have these people hold up, and one of the soldiers has like these pink sunglasses, and the hostage is like, we're all Americans here, and then the guy with the pink sunglasses goes, well, what kind of American are you? What type of American? And then like the trailer kind of ends there. Not ends there, but it keeps. That was one of the clips I found like kind of intrigued. I'm like, oh shit! So it's like with all the current political stuff that's going on in this country with gender and all that. So I feeling that's one of the topics why they go to Civil War. I highly recommend check it out. I'm like this. Like I want to see it at the theater, that's how much I want to see it.
I'm gonna look into this because I've actually been hearing some stuff about another movie that the Obamas produced, and people are saying like it's conditioning us to believe like what's gonna happen down the line, that there's supposedly some agenda and all that. So
of course,
I'm curious.
Dude, it's always an agenda. I mean, it's right up. Like I said, I want to check it out. It has the guy from Parks and Rec, the Ron Swanson's the president, and I think one of the reporters is the chick or the lady from one of the Terminator movies, the newer ones, I think. But yeah, I mean, check it out, man. Maybe next time you guys could talk about it, but it definitely looks good. I mean, it's right up there with the Iron Claw. I don't know if you guys saw that trailer for the Von Erichs, that wrestling movie.
Heck yeah, that one looks cool.
That one
I
looks good too.
I haven't seen this trailer. I'll have to see if I can find it somewhere.
The Civil War.
Yeah, the Civil War one,
Yeah,
but yeah, the
it's.
Iron
I
Claw
think
looks good.
it's made by the same company. I think that made Iron Claw. So it's that
That
new.
A24.
Yeah, I think that's who made that movie, the Civil War. Um. So yeah, check it out, man. I mean, you got to look at like the details and like there's some stuff they're dropping hints on like the political climate, why there's a civil war, and it's kind of like what's going on now, and then you're like, oh, okay, so I see where they're at with this, you know?
Interesting. Yeah, Kirsten Dunst is in it.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Is it Kristen Dunst? Yeah,
Yeah.
she was
And
in the
her
Terminators, right?
husband.
Yeah,
I don't know if she was in Terminator, but she's been in a bunch of stuff. Jumanji, Bring It On, just Interview with the Vampire. She's been in a bunch of stuff.
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man, that's
yeah,
right.
that's what she was. Maybe that's what I remember for. Yeah.
Oh yeah, Nick Offerman, I see. Okay. Dang, I'm gonna watch this. The April 26th, right around my birthday. I'm gonna watch that one.
Yeah, look, like I said, it looks good. It wants to pull me into the theater. So, check it out. Let us know what you guys think at ffnquestions@gmail.com. And then, yeah, check it out, man. The other thing, like they said, the Iron Claw. Um, did you see the trailer, Noel, or just you saw it, right, Danny? That's what you said.
Yeah, the Iron Claw, yeah. With the Von Erichs, that's gonna be a good one.
No,
I
I
heard.
have not seen it. This is a wrestling movie.
Yeah, it's about the Von Erichs.
Uh,
The guy from The Beef plays Carrie. Zac Efron plays Kevin, and some British guy plays the guy that died in Japan. And then, uh, and
okay.
then, I mean, I know about the Von Erichs. And then, so check it out. I mean, to me, that's another movie I want to check out. I don't know about the theater on that one. I could wait a little bit, but it looks good. Some of the early hype on it is really good.
Yeah, I've seen interviews of Chavo Guerrero talking about it
Yeah,
and how
yeah.
this guy, what's his Zach Efron, actually like put effort into learning the craft to like show off like a more realistic looking match.
Yep. So yeah, check it out. Let us know what you think. Civil War, like the other one, at ffnquestions@gmail.com. With that being said, let's roll into our article of the week. So I always find these articles interesting when the elites, which I want to join when I'm super rich, they're always ahead of everything. And then you see movies like trailers like for Civil War. Um, Mark Zuckerberg is building one of the biggest homes in U.S. history. It's 270 million, a Hawaiian compound, and part of it, and it will include its own village, right? So he's probably gonna have his own cops, police force, And then the other big thing that caught my eye was it's gonna have a huge fucking bunker underground, and like the pictures in the article show like pools and all this bullshit, and like he's gonna have like metaverse goggles up in that bitch that don't work right, and then uh, some other stuff. And when I see this stuff, like I'm always wondering, like, why do rich people want to build this shit, right? Um, and to me, it raises like a red flag, like they know something we don't know. Yeah, the article says the billionaire Facebook founder and his wife bought 110 acres of a sugar plantation um, back in 2021. It would be one of the largest personal constructions of all time. The two mansions and self-sufficient compound will sprawl over a whopping total of 50,000 square feet. Holy shit. And the lavish homes include 30 bedrooms, 30 shitters, conference rooms, industrial kitchen, um, and also an elaborate underground tunnel will connect the mansions. The pathway, which will double as shelter, stretches out 5,000 square feet and features a living area, a library, and escape hatch. The bunker has soundproof doors made of metal and concrete to prevent possible threats, including bombs. Man, this guy got a better bunker than Hitler. They won't have to worry about leaving the compound for any reason. The self-sufficient state has food and water sources as well. Every amenity you can think of. Gyms, sauna, swimming pools, hot tub, cold plunge pool, and a tennis court. So, to me, the big thing is the bunker. I mean, when you got it like that, I know for a while, maybe during the pandemic, people were buying those former silo bunkers, where they put nukes, but they started going away and they started making them into like these luxury bunkers for people to go into, and they were like selling like crazy around the pandemic. What do you guys think, man? Like, if you had this type of money, would you be building a bunker, or do you think the elites, as we kind of talked about earlier, then they're always one step ahead, or do you think this is like he's worried something might go down and he's gonna go here to Hawaii and chill and just go into his bunker and wait till shit clears out?
Yeah, I know how you said that the elite want to do this, but shit, I want to do this too. If I had the money, I wouldn't mind having a bunker here at my house, something to go underground in case there's a tornado, stuff like that. So I think this is totally within the realm of self-preservation, and who doesn't want that? I mean, it's the reason why people buy firearms, why people drive trucks rather than little cars, is that people, if they get into an accident, if the shit goes down, they want to survive. They don't want to die. So to me, this is totally reasonable. If I had that buco money, I would definitely be buying some big estate, acreage, and something that I think the important part is self-reliant. So some kind of thing to make your own water source, something to generate electricity, and kind of be able to live off the grid. And then the underground is just a cherry on top to, if the shit does get that bad where, nukes are dropping and things are happening, you can go downstairs and live in this bunker.
Well,
and
that's why I'm like, it's all he's moving to an island, an American island, right? An American state. He bought this plantation. He bought this property. It used to be a sugar plantation, and Hawaii's like real estate is like, it's limited, dude. Like, you can't just. I mean, I guess you can if you got money, right? And then he's building this bunker, so it's warm year round. So it's, to me, the location's interesting. Strategically, I don't know if it makes sense, but like, okay. But yeah, I mean, you're right, Danny. Part of it is like you said, the average schmo might own a gun, but these people take it to a whole nother level. I'm pretty sure they're gonna have like their own security and all this other stuff, and I just wonder how many, the more. There was this documentary, we're talking about documentaries, that the U.S. government had like bunkers all across the country, like, to survive nuclear blast, like on their hotels and stuff, like. And I saw one, and it was like in Denver, like this old luxury hotel. They built it, and underground was like this huge, like, nuclear bunker that could withhold nuclear bombings and shellings and stuff. And it had like beds and like kitchens and bathrooms and all this stuff. And like, it could hold like something like 600 people. And I was just like, holy shit. And it was just there, like, in plain sight,
Yeah, it's really scary and alarming that it seems like not only is Hollywood showing us these films with like very conspicuous topics, but also like stuff behind the scenes, like the elite, the billionaires, the rich and the powerful, they're making moves too that kind of coincide with all this stuff that we're seeing in the media and movies and all that, making you think like, hey, maybe there is a civil war coming, maybe there is, apocalyptic future ahead of us, and all these billionaires are preparing for this to happen. So it's kind of alarming for sure.
Yeah, I think stuff like that's normal. As soon as I had the room, we started buying some extra canned food and extra bottled water, just in case there's some kind of shortage or something. So I think it's pretty normal for people to try to um, not hoard, but try to anticipate what might be happening in the future. And when you got that kind of money, you could just do it on a bigger
Well,
scale.
that's the thing. People, uh, like we kind of saw this during the pandemic. People who were hoarding shit and buying extra, people got pissed at those. People got upset with those people because there's people like always who don't fucking plan for anything, right? And so yeah, like I said, people get upset, and then when they know you're doing that, they'll come after you. So yeah, I mean, like I said, it's to me when rich people, the elites do that, during this time, Putin just declared that he won the Ukraine war, and um, so and like then all of a sudden like people are like, oh, we gotta do this and that, and then I was reading the other day that NATO now will accept Ukraine's NATO application. They're gonna try to fast track it. So like, what the fuck does that mean, right? Like now we're really gonna go into World War III here. And part of me when you see this shit, like Russia has nukes, we have nukes. Like, what the fuck's gonna happen? So that's why like always when you read this stuff, it's always like you gotta connect the dots. Maybe I'm reaching here a little bit, but to me, I'm like, here we go, man. Maybe we are gonna have a nuclear war, but I don't have a school desk to get under for the radiation to go over me.
Yeah, man, I don't know why the U.S. keeps getting involved. We're not NATO. NATO is comprised of a ton of countries, so I don't understand why we got to be in the front. Just be a guy in the back and be like, let me cast my vote like everybody else, and then let's all come to a consensus on how we're going to handle it. I don't understand why the U.S. is constantly in the front.
That's because the world kind of wants that, but I think America, the average American, is kind of sick of it, and the leaders. And then the last leader that kind of made us think about it, they he didn't get reelected, and they did a lot. Now they're talking a lot of shit about him. Uh, so yeah, I mean, like you said, NATO. I know they were read an article that Ukraine and another country they wanted to fast track the their application, and it is what it is.
Yeah, for sure. Well, just like everything, Andy, there has to be an end. And that's the end of this podcast, man.
God damn.
So well, not the end forever, but the end of this episode, I should say. But we'd like to thank everybody for listening. Remember to follow Freeform Network on Twitter at Freeform Network. Send in those questions, ffnquestions@gmail.com. Visit our webpage, freeformnetwork.podbean.com. There you're going to see all of our old episodes. Wherever you're listening to, whatever platform you're on, hit that like and subscribe button. It really helps our numbers. But for Freeform Radio, we got Noel.
Yes, sir. Thank you for joining us. We appreciate you.
Got Andy.
It's all good, Andy. I'm glad to be back. Then we'll catch you guys next time, and Merry Christmas.
For sure, man. And this is Daniel. I'd like to thank you again for tuning in. Everybody be safe out there, and I will catch you on the next one.
That was cool, Dad.